Salam everyone, and thank you for joining me at my iced Amaranto latte here in a pretty cool coffee shop on Portobello, London, which is one of the coolest places I know. So for this first blog on art, I'd like to talk about the method for creating moving characters. And by moving, I mean characters that not only move a story, but resonate with us and touch us on an emotional level. And how this is done, particularly in such mediums as cartoons and films. And the case study I would like to use is Steven Universe. So, for those of you familiar with Steven Universe, you know that the protagonists, other than Steven, are from a race of aliens known as gems. And the unique thing about gems is that they aren't what you see. So they have physical forms, but those physical forms are made out of light. So gems are entities that are made out of light, but that light comes from a gemstone. And that gemstone houses their consciousness, their will, their memories. In that sense, the physical form of a gem is highly superficial. It's merely a vessel. It's merely an expression. It's an expression of who they are. Now think about this for a moment, and is this really so different from us, from human beings in the real world? So you have dreams, ambitions, hopes, likes, dislikes, things that make you sad, things that make you happy, things that make you angry. And this affects everything. This affects from the way you eat, to the way you walk, to the way you talk, to the words that you choose, to the choices that you make. And what are all those things a consequence of? They are not the consequence of your body. These are not things that the body does. These are things that the mind or the consciousness does. We are consciousness beings. What this means is that our true selves, our true essence, exists in an incorporeal state. The mind, the soul, the consciousness, whatever you would like to call it, we are merely light beings expressing ourselves onto the world. And the body, the physical body of flesh and blood and bone, is merely an expression of that. The way we look at people, the way we dart our gazes, the way we blush, and the way we speak, what we create, our art and our writing, our enjoyment and our sadness are all merely expressions of the conscious mind, of who we really are. So Descartes, the philosopher Descartes, basically spoke about this notion that we cannot actually prove that anything is real. There is no evidence to suggest that everything's not an illusion, except for one thing, and that is the mind, cogito ergo sum, which basically means I think, therefore I am. The only way Descartes could confirm that he existed was the fact that he could think, was the fact that he had a consciousness. So that's really what I'm trying to get at here, is that the essence of who we are lies in what we cannot touch and what we cannot see, but what we can feel and what we can experience through thought. So Rebecca Sugar's crystal gems are very similar in essence, and it's an interesting statement to think that these beings are only real as expressions of the consciousness that these gemstones of theirs house. And I think this goes to the core of to why Steven Universe is such an emotional and such a moving story. Because Rebecca Sugar's approach to the story isn't that things happen. No, that's not it. And that's a big problem with Hollywood at the moment. Some of the superhero movies, for example, it's all about things happening. It's all about moments in which events occur, in which action occurs. But that's not the essence of storytelling. The essence of storytelling is perception, is perspective. It is how are things perceived and experienced. It is moments of emotion and expressions of thought. That's what storytelling entails. And this is the way Steven Universe is told. Unlike most children's action cartoons, for example, Steven Universe does not move from one action scene to another action scene. It moves from one idea to another idea, or from one perspective to another perspective, from one emotion to another emotion. Steven Universe's characters exist in such a way that they move the world around them through their expression. through this light projection that they create. So let me give you an example. An episode, we could have a whole episode on how they fight a corrupted gem or a monster. Basically, they fight corrupted gems who are these broken versions of other gems. But instead, we have episodes like when Pearl struggles with her grief regarding Rose. So Pearl finds it difficult to cope with the fact that she will never see Rose again. And as a consequence of this, she moves the world. She runs away from Stephen, and he follows her. They climb to those floating islands, and it's a very perilous journey. Pearl's grief informs her need to connect with Garnet, which forces her to want to fuse with her. And all these are the ways in which she's moving the world as a consequence of her grief. So it's not merely a case of overcoming obstacles or facing challenges. It's a case of reacting to her emotions, of expressing her emotions. And this is why Steven Universe is such a great series, because this is what it means to be a gem. It's a case of expressing the conscious mind. And to me, this is what makes great storytelling. So let me put it this way. So I think it's amazing that human beings, that we influence the world the way we do. So why do things have to change around us? Things don't have to change. But things are changing all the time. But what makes them change? Is it our actions? No, it's not our actions, it's our thoughts. What are we really? It's our thoughts which influence the way we perceive the world, and in turn influence not only our actions, but the reality that we create around us. And that doesn't have to happen. Why doesn't the world change around a plate, for example, or a flower vase, or even a computer? Why doesn't the world work around them? The simple reason is that they do not have thoughts, whereas we do. This is what makes characters real. This is what makes characters compelling. It is the fact that they have thoughts, and it is those thoughts which shape their reality. I don't have to say that we're all being fed a very certain version of reality at the moment by the media and by politicians. But this is the greatest injustice: is that we are being robbed of our ability to interpret the world for ourselves, and that is how we basically lose our freedom. Is that when we can no longer make choices about the nature of the world we live in. But that is the fundamental heritage of being human: is that we get to interpret and we get to create the world around us. And this goes to the center of the Crystal Gem Rebellion against Homeworld. Is that Homeworld had this whole philosophy where there was only one interpretation of things. Everything has its place. An agate terraforms, a lapis terraforms, rubies and quartzes go and fight wars, and that's just the way things are. Now, Rose and her Crystal Gem Rebellion, her purpose was to lay claim to be able to interpret the world. It is beautiful to fuse. It is okay that Sapphire and Ruby fuse. Pearl can be free. She can choose who she wants to be. Rose doesn't have to be a warrior. She can be something else. Bismuth didn't have to build the things she was told to build. She can build anything she wants. Stephen can be born. We can interpret and create the world, and that is what they fought for. They fought for the ability to shape reality by interpreting it. And that is the essence of compelling characters, that they interpret and create the world around them with their every thought and every emotion. And I think that's a big part of what is missing in large-scale popular storytelling. And I'd like to leave you with this thought. The next time you feel helpless, or the next time you feel constrained by your situation, realize this: that the nature of your situation only exists because it has to be interpreted by you. You give it permission to exist. In order to change it, you merely need to imagine something different in order to move towards it. And so thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Salam.